cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show, always helping you win in any marketplace. We aim to be a consumer advocate. That means that we're going to help you understand your buying decisions. We're going to help you avoid a lot of the commission-based advice that's so prevalent out there in our community. So we do that by bringing on all these great expert contributors, talking about attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, experts in real estate, technology, self-defense, and more. So we love to help you in those endeavors. Save our hotline number. At some point, you may need to talk to us or give us a call. We'll put you in touch. 813-917-1894. Just call or text that number, 813-917-1894. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com. And I want to give a shout out to Replenish IV Solutions. The science of nutritional balance, a safe and effective way to help your body's immune system boost your immunity with vitamins and nutrients going right into your body. It's a great opportunity right here in Tampa Bay to reach out to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan. Replenish IV Solutions, multiple Bay Area locations here in Tampa Bay. So we got a Tampa Bay home being sold as an NFT. What is an NFT? We'll have Michelle James here in a moment explain a little bit about that. She is our tax resolution specialist here, taxpro of Tampa.com. So we're going to talk with her about something, what to expect also this season with the IRS and tax liability when selling your real estate properties. We also have Dan Minikheim, ProHealthPest Control, coming on the show, as well as Douglas Clark. He is the owner of Ours Creole Smokehouse. We're going to talk about his restaurant and some of his different menu items there as well here on the show. Now, we like to feature our real estate listings live on air, help our sellers profit more and sell faster, utilizing our innovation with radio, TV, and internet marketing. We got a property at 5014 Pompano Drive in Newport Richey. This is Gulf Harbor's waterfront, canal front, pool home, corner lot location, completely updated and renovated. It's a beautiful property here in Tampa Bay, 1,700 square feet. You got 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2-car garage, waterfront home with bay access, private dock, deep water canal, and you also have updates galore. Updated kitchen, huge lot, pool or covered porch as well, private community with a community clubhouse and boat ramps and a beach. Beautiful property here in Tampa Bay, and you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, we got Michelle James back on the Consumer Quarterback Show, tax resolution specialist. Welcome back, Michelle.
Thank you.
Excellent, my pleasure. So, yeah, what can people expect this season? It seems, there's a lot of confusion out there, I believe, around this tax environment. I've even heard, like, the IRS is very slow to process people's returns. What are you hearing out there?
Yeah, we're still experiencing some drag. I do know that we are still seeing some clients who have e-filed back to 2019 tax returns, and they still have not yet been updated. But it is a slow-moving process. At least it is now moving. But what we're also seeing are a lot of letters, late charges, and penalties. And with that, now, of course, it's double work on us preparers, because now we have to then call in and say, no, it wasn't filed late, you guys processed late. So that in itself has, just created a whole lot more work for us, even in the 2021 tax season here.
Oh, no, that's not fun. More work. You don't need
more work.
More work for...
As if we need to be on the phone with the IRS anymore.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, audits. What do you think about audits? Is there a higher propensity for more audits this year?
I actually have to say, yes, I do see that in the news. But probably, and I hate to even jinx myself, but I must say I personally have not seen an audit from any of my clients in probably 10 plus years. But it doesn't mean that they're not out there. We do get questions. You respond back to their questions. And it has not been, taken any further, but I do know that there are quite a bit of audits that are ramping up, but I tend to stay in that safe space with my clients while trying to give them, the most deductions that I, will allow a hopefully audit-free return.
Yeah, that's right. And what are some of the tips that you give in terms of how to avoid audits?
I know a lot of people like to do the home office expense, and that's a big one. It is a red flag. It is a huge red flag for the IRS. And there are ways to structure that to still take the deduction and not have it be considered home office expenses. We can have you pay rent in lieu of just taking the home office deduction itself. And unfortunately, for those who have been working home for the past year or two because of COVID, they absolutely get no benefit of that. However, our self-employed individuals still are able to do so. But I just say we be mindful. We make sure that, we are following the rules with the IRS. They require a separate entrance. They require that it's not in your bedroom where, you are able to say a client can come to your home. And so there are some guidelines with the home office deduction that most people don't follow. And if you don't qualify in that sense, then you should not be taking it. You should probably be doing the alternate way of taking some of the deductions on the home by maybe charging yourself rent and allowing it to be deductible at that point.
Right. Yeah, it seems like that's somewhat the best way, just to charge yourself rent. That way you take it, is it a certain percentage of the square footage, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this way, you're not saying it's a home office expense. This is now a rent line item expense, and thus foregoing, any type of, eyes on the tax return. Another one, of course, is, people are big on, I want to show a loss, I want to show a loss. Well, if we're in our second or third year of business and we're consistently showing a high loss,
right,
it's then considered a hobby for the IRS. And so at that point, now they begin looking, well, why is it that you keep dumping money into something that is costing you so much? And now you become that flag. Well, how are you surviving? Where is the income? How are you living?
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We're talking with Michelle James here. She's an attorney and a CPA right here in Tampa Bay. TaxProofTampa.com. And you can also reach out to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll put you in touch with her as well. Just call the hotline. When you think about, I get the question a lot about people selling their real estate as either a primary residence or maybe an investment opportunity. What can folks expect when they're selling their real estate in terms of tax liability?
Well, in this market where our prices are soaring, it is now certainly having people recognize much, much more gain than they typically would. So on a primary home, we still have those exclusions of $250,000 on those primary homes, and that's gains. Okay, so I know a lot of people go, oh, I sold my home for, $500,000, but that's not your gain. That's just your selling price.
Right.
We start to reduce that number by taking into account the purchase price of the home and any improvements that you actually made on the home, along with any expenses of selling the home. And so we try to tighten that gap and have it fall between that $250,000 exclusions on a primary home. Now, if you are selling an investment property, there are some other rules that apply, and one is your income can have you excluded from any of the capital gains benefits. So it's important to do some tax planning, and tax planning isn't after it has happened. And typically that's where I see the problem, right? They come in and the transaction itself has already occurred. Well, if it's already occurred, we're just dealing with what's at hand. And let me just step back a little bit. On the primary homes, it's $500,000 in gains that can be excluded for a married filing joint return. Okay, so it's $250,000 for the individual, $500,000 for the married filing joint. Now, that's a major break. And if you are exceeding that, chances are you will be paying a little bit of taxes to the IRS. Now, the amount that you are paying is the amount that is either above the $250,000 or the $500,000, depending on how you have filed.
And what percentage does that go to? Does that go to your what is it called, the base?
The tax rate on that is anywhere between 0 to 21%.
0 to 21%. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you can experience some pretty large capital gains taxes depending on where you fall. Now, if this is a investment property, a income generating property, the rules are very different. And there are no exclusions for the capital gains, which means most likely you will be paying the taxes on the difference that you have earned in capital gains on an investment property. Now, notwithstanding, over the years, you are taking some huge beneficial deductions. And so the IRS is now saying, well, when you sell, well, now we would like to recoup some of what we've been giving you over the past years, that you have used this as a rental property, understanding that every and pretty much anything having to do with a rental property is tax deductible.
Right.
Including depreciation, right? So you get some really, really, really great deductions as it's performing as an income property, and you do see the taxes on the end when you do sell, though.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's take a quick break there. When we come back, more with Michelle James, tax resolution specialist, Tax Pro of Tampa.com. She's on Del Mabry Highway in Tampa, as well as an office location, and she's an expert contributor here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we'll be right back after this short break. Please follow us online. We would love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram, Twitter, Getter, also on YouTube, Brandon Rhymes Realty. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you've been listening to the phenomenal Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Hey, Margie here with the Consumer Quarterback Show and the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. If you're buying, selling, or investing, please give us a shot. We would love to help you. We are a top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay, and you can reach us at 813-750-0550. Call or text 813-750-0550. ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty, and a top listing agent in Tampa Bay, featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Top Agent Magazine, The Business Journal. We're looking for inventory. Attention sellers, we need more inventory to sell. If you're a seller on the fence thinking about selling your property, we want to hear from you. Free comparable market analysis. Check out consumerqb.com.
Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense. and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals. We got a property at 4823 Ebbtide Lane in Port Richey. This is a beautiful property, waterfront condo, penthouse condo on the river. It's on the Cody River overlooking the Gulf of Mexico. You got new flooring, fresh paint, covered parking as well. 1,100 square foot, 1 bedroom, 2 bath, and it could easily be converted back to a 2 bedroom, 2 bath. 4823 Ebbtide Lane, unit number 405 in Port Richey. Beautiful property right here in Tampa Bay. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, a quick shout out to Victor and his team over at Chad Irrigation. They just finished up a project putting in irrigation and sprinkler system in our yard over at our property. Victor and his team do a great job here in Tampa Bay. Chad Irrigation, longtime friends of the program. Call them for all of your irrigation needs. They show up on time. They do a great job. First-class organization. Victor, Chad Irrigation, they'll do a great job for you as well. And we've got Michelle James here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Tampa Tax Resolution Specialist, taxpro of Tampa.com, that is. And wanted to talk to you, Michelle. There's an interesting story in the Tampa Bay, out of one of the newspaper organizations, I believe it was. Tampa Bay Home is being sold as an NFT. Gulfport House will sell at auction next week and transfer the property rights instantaneously over the blockchain, and a first for the region and maybe the nation. So it's a home in Gulfport going to be auctioned off as an NFT. What's your take on that?
So, I don't have a whole lot of information about it, to be honest, but I did listen to the interview, just trying to grab my head and grasp around it, trying to understand what these NFTs are. And for those who are not familiar, it's what they call a non-fungible token. And it is it is a part of the Ethereum blockchain, okay? And NFTs can be anything digital, from what I understand. Anything such as like a drawing or any type of music. It's anything that is digital.
Yeah.
And you can exchange one token for another, if I understand that correctly. And so what they're trying to do is, have this property sold as an NFT and have it apparently you can be anywhere and actually bid on this property, is also what I got from the interview. But I don't know too much past that as far as I know the tax effects on blockchains. Of course, it's, any income that is generated from that, you will be responsible for taxes. I know as far as the cryptocurrency is concerned, if you are using that to pay an individual for services, that would be taxable income. So I would have to say that this would be the same when it comes time to sell. So purchasing that's not where the transaction occurs. It's when they're selling. And so at the part when they get to the point where they're now trying to sell that property that they've purchased as an NFT is where they'll start seeing the taxable effects of it. And I actually don't know what that would actually look like because it is such a new arena. The IRS is still kind of trying to give clear instructions as to what that will look like.
Right. Yeah, it seems to me like a gimmick just to get you written up in some papers and some online coverage. It's basically the question later on in the article says, is this just hype or is there a real world application? And she's quoted saying the auction is really to stimulate conversation. Yeah, so to me it's kind of like hype. Hey, let's sell this as a blockchain, as a currency, and an NFT. The blockchain from Ethereum. But it goes on to also talk about how so what they're doing is they're selling it as an LLC. She says, in short, the NFT is an LLC. So talk about that. They're selling that LLC, transferring ownership rights through that corporation that they set up.
Right. And again, it's the LLC, again, stands as its own entity and can purchase. So as long as the LLC owns its own NFTs, it can transact business as its own, no different than the individual, of course, using cash or a loan. So it is operating in the same exact manner as it would any other transaction, except you are using a digital currency.
Right. Yeah. To me, it's a lot of fluff and not much substance.
It's right.
There. Yeah. It's just like people buying land in this metaverse or whatever, for example. Like, I like to focus on real world situations. People are having trouble enough buying groceries in this real world, let alone Zuckerberg's metaverse. And, to be able to afford extra properties in some make-believe world or universe that you're going to access through your goggles, or your VR goggles, to me is just, asinine. And in this particular point in time where people are struggling so much to feed their families, and with inflation and travel cost, everything's costing more. Inflation is going through the roof.
Absolutely, and the IRS is adjusting their deductions for inflation. But yeah, inflation is absolutely through the roof, and I do think that this NFT is just another transactional type of activity where, instead of purchasing, again, your typical way, you're just purchasing with digital coins.
Right. And if you just joined us, we're talking with Michelle James here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, tax resolution specialist. She's a CPA and an attorney here in Tampa Bay. TaxProofTampa.com is the website for her. And what else do you think is topical? I know there's so much going on in this financial world right now, and then you also had like GoFundMe recently. People were making donations to help the truckers in Canada, with their peaceful protest, and then GoFundMe, which is a digital platform, allowing for funds to be made through that site. They end up saying, hey, we're going to give it to other charities, and then they said, well, we'll actually refund it once they had some pressure. But there's a lot going on out there.
There is a lot going on out there. And, GoFundMes can be made up by individuals. I lost a parent, I lost an aunt, and I would like a GoFundMe account, which definitely can put our public at risk, right? Because you're hoping that what they're out there requesting funds for is actually legitimate, right? And what they're doing with those funds. So, yeah, I try to stay away from the GoFundMe. But, again, things like they have started with Zelle and Zelle and Cash App. Yeah. And for those people who have small businesses and they are using those avenues of payment, be aware that, at this point, the IRS is now looking for you to make that reportable for the person that they are sending that to, if it is a business account. So there's certainly a lot of things that are just changing as we're moving with the IRS, and it is important that we keep up with it so that we kind of stay in compliance. There has been some slight increases with the standard deduction. That is now up to $12,550 for this year, and double that for those who are married. We also see a slight increase in income tax bracket rates, and it will also be increasing for the 22 and 23 tax season. So I think taxpayers need to be having a watchful eye, doing some tax planning, understanding that the tax rates and marginal tax rates are going up and how that will affect you.
Yeah.
So it is definitely going to be important for you to start kind of paying attention.
Reach out. We'd love to put you in touch with Michelle James, TaxProofTampa.com, 813-917-1894, 813-917-1894, and we'll put you right in touch with her, and she can help you with all of your strategic planning with the IRS. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Michelle.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to come back right here. We got Dan Minikheim, ProHealthPest Control on the program, plus our feel-good story of the day, birthday celebration held for a 100-year-old veteran. We'll be right back.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Thank you, Michelle. Until next time. Brandon, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Five, four, three, two, one.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, certified negotiation expert, sports and entertainment certified real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty, and also a top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay. We love to help you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We can feature your property live on air as well, help our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. We've got a property at, this is a commercial property, 5602 Land O'Lakes Boulevard, 7 acres. This would be a perfect property for a self-storage, maybe a assisted living facility, boutique hotel. Got 7 acres off of U.S. Highway 41 in Land O'Lakes. It's an amazing opportunity to build and develop land. 5602 Land O'Lakes Boulevard, right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Currently zone C2. It's a general commercial zoning. You got water and sewer available on site. Just a great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Also, another hot property, Oak Avenue in Palm Harbor. This is a vacant lot. This is a residential vacant lot on a canal with bay access for $179,000. So you've got, not bay access, rather, sorry, you got Lake Tarpon access, that is. You got the Tarpon, just all the great opportunities there to go on the lake, go fishing. 2,500 acre lake right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. And we are going to welcome to the program, back to the program, Douglas Clark, ours Creole Smokehouse. Welcome back.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Excellent. Doing well, my friend. And we'd like to interview you, a local business owner, and kind of give us a little feel for what you're seeing out there, and, of course, talk about the flavors of the month.
Flavors of the month is whatever we can get our hands on.
Yeah.
No, we just, like I said, how our menu works is it rotates daily. We have a couple staples here and there, and, for example, last week we had a guest that was in town, and they stumbled upon us, and they ate 4 different nights here. They were staying at a B&B right around the corner here in Tarpon Springs, and we got recommended, and they came in, and they ate 4 different nights, and I went out and talked to the table, and they were like, they go, well, you got a different menu every night? And I said, we do. I go, we have especially seafood. I go, we live right on, the beautiful Gulf, and we're in Florida, and, what's the point of, sticking to something for the long haul? We have all this beautiful seafood out there, fish, and, it allows us to go through product. It allows us we do 86 stuff, sometimes at the end of the night, but that's how it works here. You know what you're getting. You're going to get, the fresh made ingredients that day. We are, when I say 100% scratch kitchen, we are 100% scratch kitchen. There's no popping cans and boiling bags, and we do it the right way. We do it the way that I was taught by my mom, by some other chefs that I worked with throughout the years of my career, and it's it's a tough job, it's a tough gig, but it's well worth it when somebody comes in 4 nights in a week on their vacation and is impressed by it. It says a lot to our team and our staff and what we're trying to accomplish as a restaurant, as a company.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, right on, man. And it's a family affair too. I know you got your family involved helping there, and to have that, the fact that you have that 100% scratch kitchen, the fresh local ingredients. How's the supply chain been holding up on you?
We just kind of go with the flow here. What worries, I don't really worry about the center of the plate items, the fish, the steaks, the pork, that stuff's going to be available. Obviously, the price is going to go up. It's been creeping up. It's been doing that for, quite a while now. But, what makes me a little nervous is the back end stuff that nobody really understands in a restaurant world, the plastics, the to-go containers, we need spoons, and, a specific spoon that we have is, back ordered. We got new T-shirts that we ordered way back in, they said they were in stock, ready to go, and lo and behold, they're in the middle of the ocean and nobody knows where they're at.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it's just stuff like that. The back end stuff, is what makes me nervous. We have to be, aware of, what we have to accomplish. And, to-go containers, we still get a lot of to-go orders. Some people, it's their, they don't feel comfortable going out and sitting in a restaurant, even though we have a beautiful outside, but on the rainy and coldy nights, some people just want to take a to-go meal, or, we make it easy for them. We do family meals on Tuesdays, and we were trying to make make it comfortable for everybody. And, so that stuff is expensive, to-go containers.
Right.
It's just, it keeps creeping up. It didn't matter when they were 10, 15, 25 cents a piece, but now, each one is ranging, $1. Somebody puts a $100 to go order, and you just added $10 to the ticket, on our end, and it has nothing to do with the food. That's the stuff that makes us a little nervous over here. But we'll battle through it, and we just got to adjust to it. It is what it is, and we just take a look at the prices, and there's enough companies out there, and to find a different container here or that. And the great thing is that, all of our suppliers and everybody's kind of sticking together. They'll tell you, listen, go look for go look at this guy over here. He might have something a little better for you on our end, and, they're just kind of working together a little bit. Obviously they want the business, but, they're not going to jam you. They're not going to stick you up, for it, which is cool, which is very respectful on a lot of our sales reps and the companies that we deal with.
Yeah, it seems like the small business owner, the middle income, earners, the low to middle income earners have to stick together now more than ever. It just seems like, these governments, these tech elites, these political elites, these folks, it just seems like they're all colluding to hurt the small business owner. Just like when they did the lockdowns. Oh, let's lock down the small mom and pops and non-essential. If you're working at your job and you're paying your family, paying for your groceries, putting a roof over your head, there's no job that's non-essential out there. And so it just seems like it was unproportionally more harmful for the small business owner, the small restaurant owners, et cetera, with these lockdowns that we went through a couple years ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah, it was rough. We stayed open. We never closed our doors. We never closed our doors. I paid the staff. Even if they weren't working here, we kept them on the payroll. They got paid. They weren't making as much as they, if they were having a sit down dinner, but we kept money coming to them. It allowed them to, we do offer like a matching 401k and, some benefits here at a small little restaurant. We did that, for a reason, and it was obviously before the pandemic, but the reason we did is, we want to take care of our people. I don't want to keep, I don't want job hoppers. We don't want people that, the training is obviously, is like where you lose your money and you spend all this time and effort getting this guy or this person where they're supposed to be, and then all of a sudden they just bolt, so we try to come up with something, a little package on our end that keeps them in, and it's worked. And, obviously with that lockdown, they could have got, short-term or long-term disability. It was available, but, or the unemployment, but they didn't really need it. You didn't need it, we just tried to keep money coming into them, and, it made for some long days for us here at the restaurant, our family. But, all those, I would say 75% of that staff that, wasn't here, they're still here, to this day, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Douglas Clark here, on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's the owner of Ours Creole Smokehouse right in Tarpon Springs, and right on Tarpon Avenue. He's got a great location. He's got a lot of times live music, outdoor seating, got a nice little bar area, and of course indoor seating. But just excellent food. The official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Definitely got to check them out. Go visit them and enjoy that wonderful menu that he has. 100% scratch menu, he said. And you got the oysters. You got all types of good food over there, Doug.
Yeah, we do dollar oysters on Mondays. And Tuesdays we do smoked drummies, and we do the family meal for the takeout, or it's available in-house. You know, we're going to do one, the family NOLA, you know, on this Tuesday, and you know, half a chicken. And, you know, when I say half a chicken, we're not talking like, you know, a 1 pounder. You know, these birds come in, they're 5 pounds, and, you know, we brine them for 48 hours and put them on the smoker for a few. And, you know, it's one half bird will feed 2 people. So, you know, the whole idea is, you know, you get some and take them home, and it's great for the take home. Thursdays we do full rack of ribs, $16 with a side. Our smoked potato salad is the best. And our mac and cheese, and then Friday and Saturday is just a rotating menu, and then every first Sunday of the month, which the next one coming up is March 6th, reservations highly recommended, but we do a Sunday brunch from 11 to 2. We make our own Bloody Mary mix. We got guys from Big Storm. We get their vodka in here. We use some of their Bloody Mary mix, and we, you know, make some smoke some beef jerky, which we're going to try to get that out there on the market for some people, and we make our own bacon and andouille sausage and, you know, smoked tasso. We smoke bone marrow on the brunch, and, you know, it's all kinds of great stuff. We do what we want to do here, and because we feel like it's good food, and it's, you know, it's going to taste flavorful, and you're not going to be disappointed. I promise you.
Yeah,
I promise you.
Sounds really good, man. So the first Sunday of the month, you got a brunch. Is that like a buffet style or off
No,
the
it's
menu?
all a la carte.
Yep.
You know, and you know, the last Sunday we did 200 covers. We were booked solid till 1:45, and we had some tables come in at 1:45. You know, but it's all a la carte and changes every Sunday. It just depends on what we feel like cooking or what we want to cook, and you know, it's just you know, one we do is, it's kind of funny. We don't have any blue plates, but, you know, you go to these diners, you got the blue plate special. Well, we got the blue plate special on a white plate.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's excellent food, man. I've sampled most of the menu now, and it's just unbelievably great food, great flavor, and really, really just awesome menu. Check out Douglas Clark, Ours Creole Smokehouse, and you can also check out the website. What's the best social media and website for folks to find you at, Doug?
You can find us on Facebook, you know, Ours Creole Smokehouse, Instagram, Google is a good one. You find all of our live events on our website. It all correlates with each other. You know, check the menu when you go to our website. You go to the links, and it'll say menu of the day or the weekly menu, and it, you know, when we just check the date on it, and it'll say the date, today's date, and that'll be the menu. You know, I'm getting ready to go do a little typing right now, and we got some salmon on the smoker, and we're going to do a little smoked salmon pasta tonight, and, you know, just to do some nice stuff. So just check us out online. Leave a message when you call if you want a reservation. It's Friday and Saturday. Definitely make a reservation. We are booked. We are booked solid for Valentine's Day. We have no more reservations available. So we're jamming. We're rocking out over here, and it's, you know, good. It's kudos to the city of Tarpon Springs. They welcomed us in. We love them. We love it here. We love this little city. The little booming town, man. When we first came here 3 years ago, everybody was like, oh, you know, but there's a lot going on here, a lot of good people involved in the city, and it's really coming together, and it's going to be a happening one. You know, there's 7 different breweries. There's a lot of stuff to do, walk around. The whole little city is great. You know, support this little town up here. We got a lot of stuff going on.
It really is. We had the mayor, Chris Alahusos, on the show a while back, about last year, I guess it was, and yeah, he's doing a lot over there. He's got a good reserves in the city. Does it really managing it well. And the city, I believe it's the city in the southeast that has the most amount of waterfront, because there's so many canals and riverways and waterways. Just a great place. And Douglas Clark, go visit him. Go visit Doug over at Ours Creole Smokehouse right there on Tarpon. And thanks for the oversight or the insights there, Doug. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great day, great weekend, great month, and let's do it.
Let's do it, buddy. Thanks, man.
All right.
Take care. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about our feel-good story of the day. Got a 100-year-old veteran celebrating a birthday celebration right here in St. Petersburg, and more from our local stories here. Got some stories on a national level I want to touch on as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, Getter as well, and our Spotify. We've got a podcast on iTunes and Spotify. Please download our podcast. You can catch the show on demand, and we'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Looking for a venue to host your next business or family event? Make it Largo Event Center. The Consumer Quarterback Show has used the Largo Event Center, and the hall and service you get is fantastic. Over 8,500 square feet of meeting space, perfect for events, expos, and trade shows. Upstairs offers space for smaller meetings and groups to include use of their lounge and game room. Plenty of room outside for car shows or food truck events and concerts. Largo Event Center is just west of US 19 on 126th Avenue. For booking and details, visit largoeventcenter.com. That's largoeventcenter.com. Or call Guy at 727-776-3442.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals. If you're buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you. We got 4302 North Nebraska Avenue. This is a property. You got your own private billboard. This is a commercial property. Thousands of vehicles passing by daily. Beautiful property at 4302 North Nebraska Avenue here. You've got beautiful wood flooring, got a kitchen, plenty of space as well. Spacious office building, 2,115 square feet on Nebraska Avenue in Tampa. Also, right across the street there, we've got another property listing on Nebraska as well, 4214 Nebraska Avenue. This is a dry cleaner. These are both in Seminole Heights area, so it's an up-and-coming area. Beautiful property here as well. This is a dry cleaner for sale. You got all the equipment, the real estate, and it's clean, creating income. Great opportunity to own and buy real estate here in the commercial space on North Nebraska Avenue in Tampa. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. And we got a birthday celebration for a 100-year-old World War II veteran. This is a St. Petersburg veteran, in St. Petersburg rather. You got a birthday celebration made for a hero. The community of St. Petersburg held a parade for Corporal Bart Coricelli for his 100th birthday, and he served in the 4th Marine Division of World War II. During this time, he served as a flamethrower in a tank and saw the rising of the flag on Iwo Jima. Coricelli sat in his driveway Saturday as others greeted him. Veterans, bomber girls, and World War II planes flew overhead and greeted him. His celebration was overwhelming, and he appreciated the effort. And he was kind of jokingly said, I think it's nice, and they could have picked maybe someone nicer. I don't know. But I give love to everybody that's out here And said you can also mail him a birthday card, P.O. Box 49212, St. Petersburg, Florida. 49212, St. Petersburg, Florida. So we love our veterans. We offer discounts for veterans, first responders, teachers, nurses here on the Consumer Quarterback Show if you're buying, selling, or investing. So I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the world here. You've got a lot of interesting stuff on the voter fraud that's happening. I'm going to play a clip here as well. This is relating to Dinesh D'Souza's movie coming out called 2,000 Mules. If you haven't heard of that, it's very interesting. Here's a quick clip.
Fortunately, True the Vote has done their work in all the key states, and they focused on the heavily Democratic areas, Fulton County, Georgia. They focused on Maricopa County in Arizona, also in the Detroit area of Michigan, the Milwaukee area of Wisconsin, and then the greater Philadelphia area in Pennsylvania. And using really two things. One is geo-tracking. Geo-tracking is basically cell phone tracking. And cell phone tracking is very useful because if you're able to process the data, you can actually see these so-called mules. Mules are kind of paid vote traffickers. Mules are people who come to ballot boxes very often at night. They come using gloves so that they don't leave any fingerprints. They take photos of themselves so that they can get paid for the ballots that they're dumping. They make multiple trips to multiple drop boxes. So there is no question in any of these states that we are witnessing illegal activity, even in areas where it was temporarily allowed to do, quote, vote harvesting. In no area is it legal to be paid to deliver votes to a mail-in drop box.
Yeah, so this is all on tape. Jonathan's joining me here in studio. Jonathan Torres as well. So this is all on tape. It's proven. You've got illegal votes, illegal activity, and there's another clip I'm going to play here in a minute that shows once they're leaving the drop boxes, they're going to Stacey Abrams' home office or their headquarters. Wow. So they got geo-tracking. They're wearing gloves. They're doing this between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m. Mm-hmm. And they're also posing for selfies outside of these drop boxes. And there's reports of one person that got paid up to $45,000. I think it's $10 per ballot. Wow, that was a going rate for that, John.
Well, and that's why you're seeing states like Florida, and hopefully more states are going to follow suit in terms of making ballot harvesting illegal.
Yeah.
And again, what most of these people don't realize, because if they're dumb enough to commit voter fraud, they're probably too dumb to realize that the minute you take a picture, there's a bunch of metadata that gets attached to that picture with the time you took it, the location you took it.
Yeah.
What device it came from, and then inevitably, not only is that semi-permanently stored on your device, but most people are backing up their pictures to the cloud,
yep.
Or to some sort of backup device, and so what's unfortunate is that for us to be able to prove that there was widespread voter fraud in the last presidential election is that it takes time. It takes a lot of time.
That's right.
And there just wasn't enough time between November and January 1st to be able to make that case, to have the evidence to bring to the courts, which is why the courts were so quick to dismiss it in the first place.
And that was part of their grand scheme. They knew that it was going to be that difficult. And then when you file those early cases, oh, wow, those cases lost. They didn't have merit. They lost. That's why. Now, check out this follow-up clip from Charlie Kirk.
Stacey Abrams, here's some advice. Stop running for governor. Get some really good lawyers, because I've seen some evidence in Dinesh D'Souza's movie that you're going to have some serious criminal explaining to do. Why is it that the mules that were dropping off ballots in Georgia also kept on showing up to your headquarters that you were running? Why is it that they would go to your office first and then go to 10, 20, 30, 40 drop boxes after that? Why is that, Stacey Abrams? Hope you have a good lawyer. Because using cell phone technology, we know that they were going to your office. We know that they were coming to you. Were you the architect of this? Were you Mark Elias's lieutenant on the ground in Georgia to make this all happen? Stacey Abrams, I'd be a lot less worried about Black History Month reading lessons and more worried about whether or not you're going to have to spend some time for not just a felony, but creating a potential criminal conspiracy of ballot trafficking in a battleground state in not just one, but 2 elections 60 days apart.
Yeah, 2 elections 60 days apart. The follow-up with the Warnock and the David Perdue. But yeah, so it's stacking up to see. This is going to be unbelievable proof, not to mention the anomalies.
It's not difficult to connect the dots. I mean, we know that she raised millions of dollars to do voter outreach and voter registration in Georgia, leading up to not only the presidential election, but also the runoff election.
Yeah.
And then nowadays, because, a lot of the people that you hire, a lot of these organizers that go door to door to do this type of work, it's all done on your phone.
Right.
And so it was very easy for them to have a record of who they registered, knowing, that they probably don't know the rules and what they are and aren't allowed to do with their ballots.
Yep.
And they went back to those individuals and said, hey, why don't you just give us your ballots and we'll turn it in for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And they did that on a massive scale, multiple states, all swing states. And did you notice it was Fulton County, Atlanta, Maricopa, Arizona, Detroit, Michigan, Milwaukee, and then Philly, Pennsylvania, all Democratic, heavily ran Democrat strongholds, so they could control that and they could, push this. And of course, hopefully this will come to a head and we'll start winning some suits here.
Sad thing is the mainstream media is completely ignoring it.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely, as they always do. Hey, another great show. Thanks, John. I want to thank Douglas Clark, Michelle James on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another and be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time. Consumer
You've
Quarterback
been
Show.
listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.